Got out your Huggies and shit.
Exactly.
That's awesome, man.
Well, how old? You say you're 25 today? Yeah.
Yeah, he's 25. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It
only gets worse.
You know?
Right.
right.
How old are you, Dan?
Turning 29 in 2 weeks.
Gotcha. Rand, what you about? 28? 27?
I'm 29 for the time 30.
29? Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. 30 and 30.
Gotcha. Yeah. November 30th. Right.
Let's believe it, brother.
Yeah, I turn 31 next
Well,
week.
I guess they make 31, but.
Yeah, I turn 31 next week.
Yes, sir.
All right, yeah, we're getting old. All right, cool. Lonnie, you 40, what you 46 now? What you
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Dumb Ass Film Students. My name is Lonnie Cox. I'm here with DA. Happy birthday, DA. You just hit the big 25.
Thank you.
And the co-creator, well, actually the creator, Rudy Wilson. Hello. Randon, I've never met you or was introduced to you properly because Rudy doesn't have any manners. But my name is Lonnie.
All good.
Hello.
It's all
Nice
good.
I didn't realize you. I forgot you weren't here last time. He's been here before. This is my cousin.
Yeah.
So he was here. Yeah, he's been here before.
Nice,
and I forgot the time that he came. You weren't here that time. So that's
all right. It's all good.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Randon.
Yes, sir. Nice to meet you too.
And now I get to introduce our very special guest, Dan Caso, is a very, very talented comedian. You're a musician. You produce songs.
He's a song? Oh no, he does.
He's a song. He's a song.
He's a song.
So, Dan, thank you for being here, man. It's good to see you.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Glad to be here. It's a cool concept. I like the title, Dumbass Film Students. Leaves no pressure. Because that's what I'm coming with. So I was in the film industry for many years. Worked on titles such as Die Hard. And,
Gotcha.
Now I mostly work with reality. Now I just mostly work with reality kings.
Right.
Sometimes I do a little bit of consulting on Brazzers, but
that's actually what brought you down to South Florida.
That's what brought me down. It wasn't shooting dope or smoking crack. It was the porn industry. Came down here for opportunity. Want to get rich, filming fuck films.
Right.
Yeah. No, I don't know anything about movies other than anything else you guys do. I mean.
Are you like are you like a movie head though? Like would you call yourself like somebody who really people somebody can throw out like a independent film that nobody's seen and like you've seen it or just you watch
not
movies
like
just
I mean, if someone talks about some French black and white film where like some chick just sits in a rocking chair and stares at a feather for 2 hours. I don't know about that. But like most of the major like hits and the classics I think I've seen. I've been on like a binge lately of trying to hit films I haven't watched. But yeah, I'm a total cunt about movies. Like if I'm watching movies and we're sitting down, we're watching a movie, put your phones away. Watch it, be here, be engaged with me.
Exactly.
Right.
I will throw hands
I picked
in the name
Dan
of cinema.
is because I've talked to him a lot about music in the past. And I believe we've spoken about movies a couple times, and he is very, Dan's an artist, so he looks past the surface level on most things, especially like stand-up comedy and music. And he had just posted about him watching a bunch of new movies on his Instagram. And that was like, I was like, okay, so let's get him on the podcast so we can really see, how he perceives movies. So Dan, I usually like to ask guests, like, what are your favorite kind of movies and what are your favorite of those genres? Like, basically, what's your favorite genre of movies and what is some of your favorites of those genres?
I like period pieces. I like 1970s movies. 1960s movies.
You mean movies that were made back then, or movies that
usually
take place?
Movies that like are trying to capture that time.
Sure. Kind of like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, or like Boogie Nights. Boogie Nights is like maybe my favorite movie of all time. It doesn't like not even really any particular period. I like to see like just authenticity with like wardrobe and like how they're talking to each other, what the streets look like and shit. And yeah, I tend to like movies where drugs are involved because I'm very fascinated by drugs. I like movies about drugs, whether selling,
like
taking, or
okay. Well, that was about my next question. What you
either
answered.
or,
yeah.
from train spotting to blow.
Did you like the movie Wolf of Wall Street?
I fucked with Wolf of Wall Street. That's a fun
Wolf of
movie.
Wall Street. Yeah, Wolf of Wall Street's dope. I like him.
Yep. Yeah, I like comedies, but I tend to like dramas and shit too. I don't know. Whatever, really. A good film's a good film. And you just kind of grade that relative to what they're going for.
Right. Are you trying to transition into film when it comes down to like as far as your comedy career, whether it's acting?
Ideally, yeah.
Filmmaking?
Yeah. I would love that. I would love to act. And then
TV,
eventually
movies, what?
Probably movies, TV.
Gotcha.
I'm probably going to ruin my reputation to get onto TV before I could get to that point. So, yeah.
Dan gonna have to be on all Netflix originals. Like, yeah, he's too dirty. We got him.
Yeah.
Quick question. Actually, speaking about reputation, you guys can all answer this because you guys are all comedians, but mostly for you, Dan. How is it working in today's environment when everyone is kind of on the sensitive side of subjects?
I like the challenge.
Yeah.
It's like you got to be creative now, and you could still like hit on that subject matter, but you got to do it in a way that's clever. Where like basically trick the audience into laughing, and then it's like, fuck, I just saw this asshole's point. I don't agree with him. Good point.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really too worried about it. I think eventually all that shit's gonna swing back anyway. It was like,
of course,
it's even starting to die down now because like the country's got real issues.
Right.
Right.
I mean, but that's an advantage to y'all comedians, right? Like, I mean, y'all can talk about that stuff without, anybody really taking it that serious to where it hits them in the heart, right?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I would say you get more leeway, but it's at the same time, like if you say it on stage, like in the comedy club, it happens to get recorded. There's like people will bring it up and kind of like maybe bash you for it, but you won't necessarily get canceled. But like if you say something crazy, but you got like like your own sitcom. You know what I'm saying? And let's just say, like, if, you're a white comic and you just say nigga or whatever like that, then, like, while you're on stage to even if you're making a great point, that's probably going to get your show canceled. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when it comes down to, like, the sensitive times or whatever, I think that you can address sensitive stuff, but everybody knows the line. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you cross, it don't have to be just racial. It could be with, a straight person towards homosexual stuff or, men towards women, whatever. Like, everybody knows the line. Everybody knows, like, if I say this, I'm crossing the line and I'm willing to cross this line. You know what I'm saying? And just take whatever repercussions is. So, I mean, time's been sensitive. You know what I'm saying? They didn't just get sensitive yesterday. They've been started getting sensitive, especially during the duration that I've been doing comedy. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for me, I just feel like everybody knows what you can and can't say. Now, if somebody gets offended, that's different than you being offensive. You know what I'm saying? Because like somebody can get offended because you just said something truth. Like if I tell you something truthful about you, like man, you drink liquor way too much. You know what I'm saying? You may get offended, but it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? And you're offended because it's true, as opposed to me saying like, something offensive about you, whatever like that. Then that's a totally different thing. So to answer that question, as far as
told a lady that I told on stage that my dog had just died, and a lady got offended by that. Like you never know and that was true. Like I was just processing the death of my beloved dog. And this lady was like, that's not funny. And I'm like, well, it's not a fucking joke. So why don't you listen to what I have to say?
And I mean, it's kind of a tough question to answer too right now, because like right now where I'm at with comedy and show business, what have you, like the stakes are pretty low. Like I'm not really pulling in big numbers. I like barely have 1,800 followers on Instagram and shit. Like it's not at a point where like I'm not going viral
now. Right.
Yeah. Best like iron out the wrinkles now before anyone gives a fuck or anyone can hear me.
I was bringing it up because like a lot of the times your past can always haunt you when you're in your future, like kind of with what happened with a lot of like what happened to Kevin Hart. I think he said something about homosexuality, and then he wasn't able to host the Oscars anymore.
But see, that's just politics in general, because he had to apologize again in order to be able to host the Oscars. And for me, like, if I was in that situation, granted I'm not, but just me speaking for me, like, I would much rather just walk away and apologize. Because for me, I don't mind apologizing again for just, say, the newer fans that I have who may have didn't hear the first apology. But at the same time, nobody's going to give me an ultimatum. You know what I'm saying? Like, I apologize or else. Okay, well, or else. I'm going to still apologize for the sake of me, me respecting these people. But fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. I don't, you're not going to hold that over my head like, oh, well, you ain't going to do this if you don't, no. Like, if we need to address something, let's address it. But don't, and so that's what me. So, like, all that hunting in the past stuff, it's one thing if I say something and then I'm like, nah, I still mean that. Okay, that's one thing. You know what I'm saying? But, like, if this has been addressed, you know what I'm saying? And then even if you came to me on the side and was just like, hey, can you mind just addressing this real quick so we don't have no issues? That's one thing. But don't ever come to me and tell me do this or else, because I'm taking
you're thinking about a
every single time. Every single time.
And it's like, it's also like, who are you trying to be in the public eye? Because, like, Kevin Hart's in the position where he kind of has to apologize. Like, he's a household name. He's trying to host the fucking Oscars, which are political as it is. I mean, like, there's actors that should have won Oscars 20 years ago, and they just never won an Oscar because they didn't donate to the right charities, you know, or whatever, or whatever the fuck, or they didn't suck the right dick, or whatever. Like, and and I mean, now, like, especially nowadays, a lot of the comics I like would never have to apologize for something like that, because, like, with the internet, you can circumvent all that bullshit anyway. Like, you could still pull in big ass numbers. You could still make a ton of money if you just find your audience online and you play by your own rules. Yeah. I mean, you have to, but with that comes, like, I mean, my favorite podcast is a podcast called Come Town. And those guys have accepted that they're probably not ever going to host the Oscars, you know? Like, therefore, they're also, like, not ever really expected to apologize for a joke. And it's like it's how you set up your brand too. Like, Kevin Hart was never really, like, a super raunchy guy, but a long time ago he tweeted that if his son was gay, he would break a dollhouse over his head. Right. You know, like, so like now that comes back, but back then that might not even have destroyed his household status. You know, if like that really blew up, it's just the time.
I think that's the argument, right? Is that it didn't destroy his household status back then. Right. You know, he said that in a different time. Right. And that's kind of, you know, shows why cancel culture has a lot of chinks in its armor, as opposed to there are people that deserve to be canceled. Fucking Bill Cosby deserved, right. You know, but now it gets a little out of hand. But I think we're, you know, a period of overcorrection is always going to happen when you reach a new level of understanding, but it'll adjust again. I think that's what Dan was saying. But DA, you know, there's not a lot of like the line is pretty clear and hasn't changed that much pretty much ever. You know, like the things that we can and cannot say have not really changed for however long comedy has been going on. Like if you said a joke about Jesus today or 50 years ago, you will still have people in the crowd that are going to get pissed. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, I mean, I think that, you know, like even when you say Bill, I feel like, I mean, what he did on camera was classic, and I don't think it should be canceled. I think we should still be able to watch it because it did something for me, you know, for us in our childhood. So, you know, the opinions about what he do outside that's the thing about comedy though. Like, you doing something for people on a, you know, on their own level. It's not about you connected with them, you know, personally, you know, but they can take it however they want and take it with them in their life, you know, in their life and childhood, etc. So I think it's, you know, I think people go too deep when it comes to trying to, you know, cancel people in that point. I think you should.
I mean, for me, I think canceling should at least be more about. We could kind of say this and move on, but canceling should be more or less about, you know, hurting that person's pockets. You know what I'm saying? Like you're benefiting off of, let's just say, you know, your audience, whatever like that. But since you were irresponsible with whatever this comment or action or whatever, then because of that, we're now to take whatever brand deals and on air, whatever off, so that you know what I'm saying, that you can have so that you can't, you know, keep getting that same, I guess, revenue or whatever like that. And that just teaches, that's almost like accountability for celebrities. Like, you can't just be out here being reckless or you're going to lose money. You know what I'm saying? But how do you differentiate, like, well, you know, they did this, but, you know, they should still be able to be on TV. I don't know. I get what you're saying, but I don't know where that line is drawn, because I think that's still subjective to who's offended by what happened. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
you could draw the line at what's a crime and what's not. I mean, serial rape is a crime. Saying something homophobic on Twitter isn't a crime. If it's distasteful, that's up to the general population's opinion. And most people, whether they cancel Cosby or not, knowing that, I know he did or didn't rape all those people, it seems like he did, they're naturally not gonna watch the show anyway anymore. Right. Whether or not you have to cancel it, I don't know. I think it should be case by case, but there are general rules of thumbs, I think there should be standards, but then you should also get your day in court,
right?
As it were.
Yeah. Rudy, you back?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what this.
You gone, bro?
Yeah, you like straight up disappeared.
Yeah, you're out of there, bro.
It just in the middle of him talking, it just all cut off. I don't know what happened.
Well, before I do it again, we should probably get started.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So what?
You started? You started back recording?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Well, yeah, that's so yeah, nobody on here get canceled. All right, don't say anything wrong. Right? Moral of the story. All right. Well, yeah, well, Dan, appreciate you putting up on us, man. Glad to have you.
Yeah.
We got 3 movies here. Shout out to all the filmmakers of these movies. Everybody involved, actors, filmmakers, everybody. You know, you got the work done, you got the job done. Your movie made it to the big screen. This is just, you know, us giving our little irrelevant opinion. So don't take any offense to it, okay? Or take the kudos if we give it to you. Cool. So we had 3 films: Brawl in Cell Block 99, Troy, and Afro Samurai Resurrection. And we are going to review them in that order. So let's start with Brawl in Cell Block 99. Now, Dan, the way that we do things here, we basically start off with a vote. It's a thumbs up. You're going to use your thumb. It doesn't necessarily have to be up or down, but it's going to basically tell where you're at. So, like, the general is just like, yes, overall, this is a good movie. Overall, this is a bad movie. I'm kind of in between on it, you know, whatever. Somewhere between the up, down, in between. And basically, your vote is just your overall vote. Now, you can like it, but have things that you didn't like about it, or you can dislike it and have things that you did like about it. But that vote is just simply, what are you choosing for the movie as a whole? All right, cool. All right, so let's start with that. So, Brawl in Cell Block 99, director S. Craig Zahler, Zahler, starring Vince Vaughn and a host of other people. All right, so cool. Let's do our votes. On the count of 3, let me see your thumbs. 1, 2, and 3. So we got what, 3 sideways and 1 down and 1 up.
Lonnie's is a 4. It looks like.
Good call.
It's a 4. Oh, okay. Well, your hand's not really in the camera. I couldn't really see your thumb out there like that.
Your hands are too big, Lonnie. Back them shits up.
So that's pretty much still a thumb. That's pretty much still a thumbs down. I mean, it's below 5. So you hated the film. All right. So let's start with the 2 people who was in the middle. Da and Dan. Why are you guys neutral?
You can go ahead.
Take it away, Daryl. Go. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, this is the one I recommended to the podcast. It was actually recommended to me by a good buddy of mine. I used to play music with back in Jersey and shit. I'm halfway, because if you wanted to just grade a film on like whether or not I enjoyed watching it and wanted to turn it off, I didn't. Like, I watched the whole thing and like took the ride and enjoyed it and like got to the end, and then I was like, okay.
You were right, exactly. It was just like, okay, all right.
there was definitely things questionable about it.
Very
like
cool.
the kind of not so subtle, like kind of like right-wing conservative undertones of like the whole film.
Right.
I think some of the things that like stuck out and like kind of bothered me, or like I just kind of tripped over watching the movie, was just like how many times, because this is starring Vince Vaughn, and how many times they built into the script referencing like this dude's big. He's
Is he
a boxer?
Where'd you get those muscles?
How about you come to the boxing gym? Like it's like, those muscles.
You
for
thought,
sure.
you thought he was
go.
like Terry Crews or The Rock or somebody,
right? Like it's fucking like they got fucking Brock Lesnar walking through the goddamn place. Like it's like, yeah, he's tall. He's just kind of fucking lanky, regular looking white dude though. Like,
They was trying to let you know that Vince Vaughn been working out. Basically, that's all. That's all it was.
Yeah, that was like, when you're that level of movie star, like you could basically just get wingmanned by your own movie. Like it's like, you know what I'm saying? Because you put that in the script enough, like maybe you could just convince some women seeing it. They're like, oh yeah, he is really big and strong.
Right.
That bald head looks pretty good on him.
But movies they do a bad job of that in general. Because even like movies with like The Rock or even Vin Diesel, anybody who has like a big stature, they always make their strength like way too much. They breaking out of shackles, or they punch somebody and they fly across the room. Like it's always way too much when you want to prove somebody strong in a movie. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of directors or filmmakers, whoever's making that choice, they do that a lot, and they did do that in this movie. As far as like forcing him to be big and whatever. Yo, when he broke that black dude's arm, I'm not gonna lie to you, I cringed. Like
that's the thing. Like the violence there, and like leading up to like the big blowout at the end, the violence was pretty reasonable. Like it seemed like realistic and like fucked up, and it did make you cringe. But then at that blowout at the end, where they have the Brawl In Cell Block 99. And like, that's the thing. Okay. That's the thing too, that I'm not crazy about with movies. Like when they find a way to like throw the title into the dialogue of the film. Cause like they literally said that we got a Brawl In Cell Block 99. Like, come on, dude. It's not like Mark Wahlberg's like blowing coke and boogie nights and like, oh, these are some boogie nights. You know what I'm saying?
But see, to me, I thought that they, to that very point, as far as it being in the script, I thought the perfect place it was in the script was the phone call through the glass. Like he was like, yo, you got to go find this dude in Cell Block 99. Now I'm still confused on whether that person was real or not. I don't really know. But to me, that scene right there is what locked me into the movie, because I was like, yo, I really want to see this journey to him getting to Cell Block 99. Because that's where the movie picked up for me. Because before that, it was like the beginning was kind of slow. I was like, I didn't even know what I was watching for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, they showing this long out shooting scene, stuff, just like, you know what I'm saying? Like certain stuff like that was whatever. But I will say just to give
I did ask myself the same thing.
Oh,
like you said, we're getting to it, and like he's still not in prison. He's still not in prison. He's still not in prison.
Right.
How fucking long is this movie? Like I kept like picking up my remote and checking, like, what have I signed up for here?
Right.
Yeah.
So, but I want to just say this real quick. The reason why I gave it a thumbs up, because for me, out of any jail movie I've ever seen, because even like a Shawshank, right? Like Shawshank made you feel like they were really in jail, but it was more or less because of what that dude was kind of just dealing with. You know what I'm saying? But like this movie, I literally felt like I was in jail, like with him. Like they did a very, very good job of all the jail scenes, really making me feel like that was there. You know what I'm saying? And I was like really impressed with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like I really
the processing and like having to stand in line twice.
And even
and
just
shit and like,
even just being in there. You know what I'm saying? Like I kind of felt for the character. I was just like, man, like you know what I'm saying? Like even starting off with thinking I'm gonna just get 4 or 5 years, he got to 7. You know what I'm saying? And then now you're being told, like, you got to go to this, on this mission that you probably, whether you kill this dude or not, like, you're not going to make it back home to your child. Like, you'll at least be in jail for the rest of your life or, whatever. Like, to me, I thought the stakes of this movie was great. You know what I'm saying? Now, along with some of what y'all said, once we got to Cell Block 99, and there was a brawl that happened. You know what I'm saying? But, like, to me, I wasn't clear. Like the journey to Cell Block 99 was like, I think the foreplay of it was way too good, because by the time we got to the nut, You know what I'm saying? It wasn't as powerful.
But you know what? The reason I say this is I gave this a middle is because I really did not. I enjoyed the movie, but the story I did not enjoy. I feel like when he decided to start shooting at those guys behind him, what was the point of that?
Right.
And then if he was going to kill them, why didn't he kill the biggest one he had the biggest problem with? And it's so convenient that guy is now back in Cell Block 99. Another thing I didn't understand was the whole fact that this procedure, how the hell are you gonna cut into a wound? If I'm not mistaken, it's a ball of water. Hey,
what you talking about?
Well, like they kept threatening him with like this like specialized abortion.
You talking about
this Korean doctor, and they kept like emphasizing this Korean doctor. This Korean abortionist is going to go in and cut off the limbs of your child.
But see, for me, I think they sold it well enough because because even the way that the dude said it, he was like, this Korean doctor is convinced that he can, you know what I'm saying? And so he left it with even saying like, I'm not even sure if he can, but either way, your child is going to be aborted. So it's going to either be born with no limbs or it's going to be gone altogether. You feel what I'm saying? And to me, that's what I'm saying. I bought into that. Whether it was true or not, I'm like, yo.
Yeah,
he need to get a Cell Block 99.
But I see what Daryl's saying because like there is like some like lazy gaps where it's like because like but like just the way I don't know like just like with the dialogue and how they wrote it, it's like they keep harping on they're gonna cut the limbs off your unborn child. They're gonna cut the limbs off. This Korean doctor is gonna and like
this Korean
but like
doctor.
they keep harping on the fact that like they're gonna cut the limbs off the baby. It could leave the viewer to think, well, as long as you could abort my baby if you want, but you better not cut off his limbs. Like it's just like.
I mean, the only reason I really enjoyed this movie is because of the action moments. The action moments. I mean, when Vince Vaughn was fighting, I was like, "Oh damn! Oh my god!"
Yeah.
It was very cringing, especially I say the part where he scooted slid the man's face across the ground.
Oh my god!
That
ruined the movie.
If you go back and look at it,
that ruined
it was just bone.
Oh
it was
my
just bone
god.
on his face when he turned up. I was like,
god.
oh my god, this man is.
It was brutal, but that's like where it got kind of cartoonish for me.
But I will say this. I will say this. In all of the action, this man Vince Vaughn, how much did it take to beat him up? That's my biggest thing. He was getting punched in like the face, like hard. At least it felt hard or seemed hard to me. Yeah. And he didn't bleed or nothing. He didn't start bleeding until he actually got into Cell Block 99.
And there's nothing in the film that establishes why he's so fucking tough.
Right.
All you know about him.
They say 1 second that he was a boxer.
They don't even really mention like that. Only reason I even knew he had a boxing pass is because after the movie I read the log line and it said a former boxer. But outside of that, the black dude was trying to get him to boxing. He was like, "Yeah, I stepped in the ring once when I was a child." But there was never really like, "Yo, this is the reason why he got hands." I just thought he had an anger problem because he beat the car up. You know what I'm saying? He punched the headlights and stuff out.
Another big thing that I noticed about this movie is the fact that Vince Vaughn's accent kept going in and out.
Absolutely.
Like, come on, Vince.
He was messing up.
Yeah, that was a bad accent.
He was ruining it.
Man. But I will say, besides that little, like, I guess, flaw, I did enjoy watching him being in a very different role than he's usually in.
That was the only thing I liked about this movie was that it was Vince Vaughn not playing Vince Vaughn in a different situation.
But he still had him in it a little bit because his little quick sarcasm and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like they kind of kept it in there, which I did like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because he was very sarcastic.
But it wasn't like, here's Vince Vaughn in jail fighting for, it was like, okay, Vince Vaughn is actually digging into a role for once in his entire career, really.
A ball
Well, Rudy, no, that's not true, Rudy, because he's a quick talker, man. And in that movie, it seemed like he was halfway dumb because he talked slow and he was very, he would come in spaces like.
Yeah.
So
it's like he was more concerned with like just not talking fast as opposed to actually.
I know Vince Vaughn is a quick talker, quick on his feet, and he wasn't that in this movie. But that's not what I had a problem with.
I know. Go ahead.
What I had a problem with? Okay, so some of the things like. That was the thing that DA said. That actually ruined it for me. I mean, I guess the graphics is not supposed to. Well, I'm talking about when he slid his face, when he slid the face, and if you see it, the face was it was already ripped off. Basically, he just pretty much pushed it. Right. So they didn't put any work into that at all. But that's fine or whatever. But it was in the beginning of the whole like half the movie. It was awkward. Like I felt awkward watching the movie. Like, am I supposed to be watching this? Like it was too many spaces and where they were just doing nothing. And then you're like, okay, am I supposed to be waiting for something? Should I go to the bathroom? What's really going on? So it was a very awkward movie. It had me like, I was checking in the time to see how long this was because it was kind of like, it was out of the way. And so like I really want to know like, okay, what do he really care about? Like what did he really care about for him to, like you said, when you talk about him killing the guy, shooting the small guy. I mean, so I don't understand why he shot the small guy instead of the big dude that he was dealing with. But if you're gonna do that, why do it in the middle of the fight with the cops? If you want to see your daughter, obviously you care about it that much, get away and then deal with the situation on another hand. But obviously that's another story, but it just was set up all wrong in my opinion. I couldn't get with it.
I think this movie could have been way better if they would have cut out the first hour, started with, we kidnapped your wife, and now it's a whole movie of Vince Vaughn kicking some ass with smart comments in between between kicking ass. And it should have took him a lot longer to. Yeah, and another thing, when he got to Red, whatever the place called Red, the first person he asked, he's like, "Hey, do you know this Chris fella?" No, I never heard of him, but he might be in Cell Block 99. But that's only for rapists and crazy people. All right, I'm gonna take your word for it. What if that man was Chris? He just took the first word he got and went to go down in Cell Block 99.
Well, we know that's not Chris, so he ain't got a good think about who was Chris.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I one thing I didn't see coming. I definitely didn't realize that he was going to turn around and beat the shit out of the black security guard. Like in that moment, like I didn't realize that's when he was gonna snap. To work his way to out of the jail. Like I didn't, because the black dude was finally showing some sympathy. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey man, you all right? Back to whatever. So he just kind of walking back to the cell. So I'm thinking Vince Vaughn is like planning what he's gonna do next, and he just takes off on this dude, bro. Like, and
what I thought was going to happen was actually the fact that he was going to start boxing, and that was going to get him to.
I did too. I thought this was going to turn into a boxing movie. I did too.
That would have made sense. That would have made more sense.
It would have been a way better movie. Yeah, then it would have become Undisputed though.
Well, that's you automatically put that in the ring with Undisputed because it's a prison movie and fighting. I mean that and Red Redemption, but yeah. So I think if it would have been a boxing match down in there, it would have made more sense. But
and I just don't really after watching it, like most movies that are well made, you come away with something like, what was the theme? What was this film really trying to say? And I don't really know what that movie was trying to say, other than this dude was just a troubled patriot. He's just a patriot on hard times. He's
got two flags.
He's got two flags.
Well, they really gave him a goal. That was a goal worth fighting for, but it didn't necessarily connect with the beginning. Because in the beginning, we just see, okay, boom, he lost his job and he found out his wife was cheating after they had, the miscarriage or whatever. Oh, that boy done got it. All right,
it's
my bad. I had to mute him real quick. I was trying to. I didn't realize he had this kid. But what I was saying is connected with the beginning, like, you know, his wife, like, I guess kind of like stepped out on him, whatever, after they found out. I mean, you know, she had like the miscarriage or whatever. So like, I get him really wanting this baby to like live this time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get that. So I get like the stakes, but at the same time, it wasn't necessarily like a character arc for him, because it's not like they never painted a picture like he was ever like going to be a bad father or, you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't really see like the growth from him having to fight his way to Cell Block 99. I just seen a desperate man. Like, oh, I don't want nothing to happen to my wife and kid.
Right. There,
you know what I'm saying?
There was zero character development. He wasn't
right.
a different, like most of the time a main character is supposed to, like, and every character surrounding them, they're supposed to go through some kind of metamorphosis through the film. And like, even if they end up being their original selves by the end, there was still a change there, like where, oh, you thought this person was going to be this, and then the film ends, and then, but like that, he was just the same dude, and I don't know, like, just what was the point? He's principled. Like, who
was the dude though? Who was the guy in Cell Block 9? Was that ever really a person, or he was supposed to just meet up with the people who he's got the money from? Like,
it was all a setup. It was all a setup for him to for the guy who he traded on, which I don't feel like he traded on anybody, because he told them when the deal was about to go down, he was like, if you guys don't listen to me, you know, I'm basically gonna, it's you know, I'll leave. And so, but the guy who was on the other side of the deal, that's who was in Cell Block 99, and he was like, you traded. You talking
about the head guy who walked in with the two?
Yeah, who was working with Hill.
Yeah.
Who he ended up beating up at the end with the suit on. That's who.
The
so
dude
he was supposed to meet him in Cell Block 99 to get killed.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, who had his kid.
I'm saying, so he that dude was supposed to what, kill him when he got there or something? Like, what?
It was like they were just basically torture him for years.
Yeah.
And like with the whole, like with the electricity, like the shock belt on his waist, and they were just gonna have him come to their cell every day, and they're just gonna fuck him up, and they're just gonna torture him for 7 years, or however long he was in there, because the cartel leader had the prison in his pocket. So like that's why he kind of had like.
So was he actually in prison, or was he just there just to do that?
I think he got bagged, and he ended up being in that. He ended up going to that prison, and then being a cartel leader, he has ears in the street. He found out that, like, you know, Vince Vaughn's character was in this prison. So then he sends one of his goons, that guy that met him across the glass, and told him, hey, go to Cell Block 99. You got to, and that was like Daryl said, a trick, just to basically get him right where they wanted him.
He could have just got him sent over there if he got that much power.
Right. There's a lot of shit that doesn't make any fucking sense.
That's what I was going to ask you. Did they want him to possibly, like, get killed trying to fight his way over there or something? Like,
well, I think what they wanted him to do was to keep extending his sentence so that he would never get out of prison.
Yeah.
Because that's usually what happens. You kill somebody in prison. At least I don't know if it happens in real life, but it happens in the movies. You know, that you kill somebody in prison.
Yes.
Right. But why didn't none of the guys in Cell Block 99 have guns? Like, why didn't they just shoot him dead? Why everybody in the fist fight?
The prison he started off with was medium security. It was like
no. I'm clear on that. I'm saying when he got to Cell Block 99, and these people who are drug lords or whatever, they're in Cell Block 99 and they're all fist fighting this gigantic muscular dude. Why doesn't any of them just have guns to be able to just shoot him?
What
I'm saying.
They was in prison, right?
They can get
because they thought of the title for the movie, and then they wrote the screenplay around the title. And it's not a gunfight in Cell Block 99. It's a brawl.
See, and this is my same problem with remember we watched A Message from the King or whatever. Everybody who he was fighting, these are like drug lords or whatever, and none of them got guns. Everybody hand-to-hand combat. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't. That's an awkward situation for me. Is what I'm saying.
Since it's in prison, you know, although you can.
But they're not prisoners. They're just there to torture.
I thought they were prisoners, though. That's what I'm saying. They were prisoners, bro.
Bro, I'm confused. This is what I'm saying. I don't get.
So it's a bad movie. We're all saying
they're prisoners. They're prisoners wearing regular clothes, just sitting in.
It was only one person wearing regular clothes. It was only the boss. They had.
That's what I'm saying. So was the boss in prison?
I don't know.
Yeah, he was just wearing a white jumpsuit. He was in prison.
No, man, he didn't have on no jumpsuit. He was in a he had on a linen suit.
Maybe he had on
a white jumpsuit.
Everyone else in there had a jumpsuit on.
Yeah, his boys probably took the fall, and then he met up with his boys in Cell Block 99, and then he just wanted to oversee the punishment that these guys.
He was in prison. You guys, he was wearing a white version of the orange jumpsuit. I promise.
That's what I initially thought, but now I'm confused.
I thought that as well.
No, man.
I promise you that's what it was.
When he knocked that man's head off at the end, that dude was wearing a suit.
He on a linen suit like he was at the Bahamas or something.
It was
like he was chilling.
He just got it earned, man. It was with no jumpsuit.
You know what? Okay. You know what? We should start doing after the whole argument is see if anybody changed their mind about their first opinion.
I still like it as a whole. Like it was. I'm not gonna like watch it again, but like I didn't know what I was getting myself into, and I definitely like were there stuff I didn't get. Yeah, I didn't even understand why he had a cross on the back of his head. But
right,
but the like I said, the journey leading to Cell Block 99 from that phone call all the way up until he got to that cell block, I was locked in. Like that whole thing to me was pretty exciting. All the jail fights, whatever like that. Like I you know what I'm saying, him just going at the guards or whatever, like to me, like I was locked in for all that type of stuff. Going into the different shitty cells or whatever. Go ahead.
I felt the choreography was kind of lazy too. He did make the opposing guys hit each other at least 7 times. He kept putting the guy in the way so they can just slap their own guy. They did it at least in every fight twice. So it was kind of lazy in that point too.
From a UFC fan standpoint, the one big guy that was the cartel leader's boy was clearly very well versed in fucking Muay Thai. He would never get his fucking ass kicked by a classically trained boxer. No way. He would have gave him the fucking business. Would have been a head kick. Fucking done. Put him in the clinch. He's done.
Yeah.
I don't care how Vince Vaughn he is.
I don't care who the hero is.
I think this was a good transition for Vince Vaughn. Like I think like this was a good. This wasn't like him stepping down. It was just like, yo, you need to just stick with comedy. Like I think it was executed as well. I would just say even better than I would have expected for Vince Vaughn. It wasn't a flawless performance, but I didn't even know he had this range. So I would at least give him credit, for that. I give him kudos for that.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. I enjoyed watching it. But now that we've talked about it, I realize how kind of retarded it is. So.
Yeah, it was a pretty retarded. It was a pretty dumb movie.
I kid you not. Once the movie ended, once he got shot in the face, I was like,
well, I knew they was gonna shoot him. That was no brainer.
I was hoping so.
Okay, all right. Well,
yeah,
it's over, I guess.
Yeah. He done killed the guard.
Yeah. That made it better when they shot him because they kept just. Don't move. And just shoot him.
I thought it would have been shot. Yeah, for sure. I thought it would have been shot.
Yeah, come on.
Anyways, anything else for Brawl in Cell Block 99?
That's everything.
I think we got all the.
Everybody thumbs remaining the same.
It's slightly more down. I'll say like 20%
slightly more down.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, cool, man. Well, let's move it on right along on to Troy, director Wolfgang Peterson, starring Brad Pitt, Eric Bana, Diane Kruger, Orlando Bloom, host of Other People. So let's do our votes. Thumbs up, thumbs sideways, thumbs down for Troy. Here we go. On the count of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Got. What is that? Are you up or down?
I'll go up.
Yeah, I mean, I figured as much. Troy's a beast, man. Troy is a phenomenal movie, and I actually enjoy. I've seen it when I was younger. I thoroughly enjoyed it much more when I watched it this time. Like, just as an adult, even just as having more of a filmmaking understanding. Like, I just really appreciated everything about this movie. Like, it was literally phenomenal. It's another movie that we've talked about before on this podcast. Roughly 3 hours, didn't feel it. Would watch this movie again back to back, and would take up 6 hours of my life and wouldn't feel bad about it.
Right.
Just being honest.
I really one of the biggest things that I really enjoyed about this movie is the subtext in all the dialogue. I'm like, man, these people are just trash talking each other. I'm like, man, who spilled the tea?
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, this movie was deep, man. Like, even just, man, like, I'm telling you, I knew, and this happened in the beginning, because, like, when I first seen this movie when I was a teenager, my favorite part of, like, what got me really into this movie as far as, like, an opening scene was when, you know, they call him in the battle, he run up real quick, do the little fight, stab him in the, you know, in the traps or whatever. The dude drops, he's like, is there anyone else? That used to be what locked me in. But I got locked in this time, the scene right before that, when the little boy said something like, what did he say? Like,
he's like, I wouldn't want to fight that guy.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to fight, whatever like that. He said, that's why your name will never be talked about or remembered or something like that. And I was like, right. I was like, yo, this movie, like, I'm talking about out the gate, like, no action, no nothing. That line right there locked me in. I was like, yo, I forgot how fire this movie is. And I even knew the storyline, but there were things that I didn't even realize it was a part of the storyline that I connected with this time that made stuff make even more sense. Because I didn't even realize that, like, Achilles was, like, being cocky with, you know, with the whatever god, you know, he chopped the head off and the whatever, you know what I'm saying? His mom gave him the speech about, like, if you stay here, like, you'll be alive, but you're going to be a nobody. But if you go, you definitely going to, you know, die. But but your name gonna be great. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't really appreciate all these scenes and stuff when I seen it when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? And this was, man, I'm telling you, this movie was well written, well executed, well shot. I'm not sure how much, you know, CGI or whatever they were using in reference to, like, all the men. I know definitely with the ships, but they definitely still had a lot of men out there, regardless if they added more just computer wise or whatever. But I just thought, you know, this movie had a lot going on as far as, like, from a production standpoint, but it was put together very, very well.
The production value is through the roof. I mean, it's so well done. The armor, the weapons, the set pieces, the armies, I mean, even just the scene of, like, the wedding with all of that. I mean, everything is done.
Casting,
well.
Everything.
Yeah.
I really feel like you're just watching history.
Right.
Yeah.
My biggest problem with this movie is the fact that the two people who caused this whole fight got away. Right. I was like, what the hell? I wanted them to die so badly. Like, man.
That's the
one problem with the movie. Yeah. That's a story that's like 4,000 years old.
Right. I know that, but I'm just saying, you know, rewatching it, you know, I'm like, what?
But I think that could also have to do with, like, what one of the themes of the movie is, like, just about the conflicts that, like, we find ourselves in because of principles, or sometimes things we're not even directly involved with, you know, like, just like the scene where Eric Bana, like, realizes that he had stolen Helen, Orlando Bloom's character stole Helen, and they're just on top of the ship, and he's like, you know, I will not have you start a war for me. And he's like, you already have. But, like, he's like totally fucking pissed. He's like, why? Why would you do this? You know what I'm going to do. You know where my allegiance is. You know what ultimately is going to happen. So why would you put me in this situation?
Right.
That's what I think it is. Like, I think it's like one of the themes is, like, it's about, like, the inconsideration of some people and, like, the fallout that causes in good people's lives. Because, like, you have these two just selfish motherfuckers that end up, like, you know, end up destroying one empire.
Right.
And
Hector had it bad the whole movie, man.
But see, at the same time, I think they just
killed Achilles' cousin, and then he had to go fight. That's honestly one of the funniest moments when Brad Pitt is standing out there and, like, just calling his name.
Yeah.
The moment he killed him, he was like, "All right, that's enough for today. Let me go say goodbye to my wife. I know I'm gonna die tomorrow, so let's just wrap this up."
Oh yeah.
That's just
fun. And this is my thing about it. This was my problem about the movie. About the movie is the gap between the greatness. Now I know in the story that, you know, Achilles was just all world anyways, but the gap between the two greatest fighters between both was just way too big. It was way too big, and not even if the gap or the talent, but even the the fight in Hector was not big enough when it came to it. He went out there to die, period.
Right.
Now, even if you know the guy better than you, you got to come with something. You got to come with something else.
I think he came as correct as he could.
But see, he couldn't because it was a different thing. He was afraid because he done kill Achilles' cousin. So Achilles, it's a difference if me and you just fighting in war. But now you coming for blood because of you've lost something. And Hector knew he didn't lose something the way that Achilles did. So now whatever skill Achilles has is about to be turned up by 1,000 because now I'm not just coming just to fight you for the sake of grease and whatever.
First off, but that's what I'm saying though. See, and that's what I'm saying. You don't just lay down. You don't go to war to lay down your life. You go. You ultimately want to win. So don't go out there and just lay down your life. I can see if he caught you. If you went to him, he caught you right when he killed his cousin, and you was on their turf. But he's on your turf and you have nothing but your body to give on the floor. You got to come better than that.
But I think they were praising not only the situation but Achilles at that moment because
I understand that and I'm fine with that because I appreciate the greatness of Achilles. I appreciate the greatness of Achilles, but what I'm saying is you can't just let it go down the way that everybody should. And this is me.
He didn't have a choice, though. It was a duel. It was like he was honor bound to fight that duel.
No, I would have let my brother go out there. I would have been like, you know what? I fought a man for you while you ran away. How about I sit down?
You guys understand that Achilles is the best fighter in the world. Whoever fights against him is going to die.
He's part God.
What I know. But
Hector's just a badass motherfucker. Hector's just a regular dude that could lay out anyone. Achilles is actually blessed by the gods.
You don't just come out there ready to die, is what I'm saying.
But this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. I'm telling you that's almost like when Buster Douglas fought Mike Tyson and he was the first person to beat Mike Tyson. He knocked Mike Tyson out, right? Buster Douglas had promised his mom he was gonna beat Mike Tyson, and then like a week before the fight, Buster Douglas' mom died. So the last thing that happened before his mom died was he promised his mom that he was going to beat Buster Douglas. Buster Douglas was going to beat Mike Tyson. And so even with Mike Tyson knocking him down during the fight, he got up and still knocked Mike Tyson down. That was the first time Mike Tyson lost, the world shock, everything, so on and so forth. So what I'm saying is like Mike Tyson may not have had that same mindset or whatever. Yeah, he may have came because he thinking he's Mike Tyson, whatever. But what I'm saying is that when somebody else comes into a battle wanting it more than you for like a deeper connection, a deeper reason, they're already coming for something more than what you want. And like Hector was really only coming out there like his whole point of fighting, whether it's Achilles one-on-one or this whole battle, is my brother did something stupid, but I got his back. So that's what all this is about in the first place. He's not even trying to fight. He'd rather be inside with his newborn baby. You know what I'm saying? He don't want to fight none of it.
Don't make that happen, Hector. Is what
I'm saying. But he getting called out. He got to go. Achilles standing at the gate, yelling this man's name.
Make it happen. I'm saying
he can't. He was going to lose regardless. But he was also fearful. He was going to lose regardless, but he also was fearful.
I'm not trying to change the story.
Achilles is unbeatable.
Of course, Achilles still win. But what I'm saying is, come out, with something else. Don't come out.
But see, everybody
with something else.
Everybody's demise, bro. You got to think about it. In this story, everybody's demise was them going on their own little mission. When Achilles got killed, that was him on his own thing. You know what I'm saying? When the brother started his war on his own thing, the brother fighting for the like everybody loving to a fault or doing something to a fault. Because even with him taking Helen, he really got Helen out of a bat. She wasn't happy in that marriage, in Greece or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like she would much rather have been in Troy and been, the wife of him or whatever like that. And I'm sure she would have never cheated again. But at the same time, they went about it the wrong way. So now you've caused, something. We just made peace, whatever. So I get it. But either way, everybody, their downfall was them loving too much or wanting too much. Even Achilles, like he was cold-hearted. And the one woman he loved, he trying to go get her. That's the moment he get killed. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I think that was just kind of the theme of it. And that's even what got Hector killed in that moment. Like, I'm only going out here because I thought I killed Achilles. I didn't. I done killed his family member. Hey, listen, if whoever dies, let's get a proper burial. And Achilles like, nah, I don't want to hear none of that. Like, I don't want to know. I'm sorry. I was just playing none of that. Like, let's fight. What, you know what I'm saying? So like, they was on two different things. And when somebody on two different things in the fight, the person who on the other thing, I know you're saying he shouldn't have been, but he didn't want to fight in the first place.
And that's all I'm saying. He
didn't want to fight this war in the first place. So now you got to fight. Now you got to fight Achilles one-on-one. He gonna get whooped. He gonna get whooped.
Look, go
I mean, the whole thing could have been prevented too by like King Priam of Troy, because like he had that sit down with his son, and like his son just, you know how much you love every street and village of Troy. That's the way I love Helen. Well, yeah, motherfucker, but that's just one bitch, and like this is my entire fucking empire.
Right.
So like maybe like save me the poems after like we sort this out, because like I got all of Greece coming at me. So maybe we should just hand this chick over and we'll find you another one. Like it was the stupidity. And that's a good point.
That's all part of the story too. Because I mean, really in the story, Priam was he was that kind of guy. He was really that kind of king. So especially at that time, his reign. But I'm just throwing in a little, just stirring the pot a little bit, bring another mindset in Hector is what I'm saying.
To your point though, it could have been cool if in the showdown between Hector and Achilles, Hector had like managed to stab Achilles through the chest, and he didn't die, and he didn't die or something.
Exactly.
And then it's revealed and everyone's shocked. What the fuck? He survived that, and then later on he gets killed by an arrow to the heel, and it's
Thank you.
That might have been cool.
Thank you. I think it would have added on to how. Then you don't realize it, but I'm talking about adding on to how great Achilles was. All that just showed us that he wasn't fighting nobody that was on his level at all, anyways. But
you guys know that this is a true story, right?
Huh?
You guys know that this is like based on true events.
Well, yeah, but
and Achilles
obviously embellishing some shit anyway.
But the specifics can be whatever though. It can end the
basically,
same way.
like what happened is imagine that Achilles existed at his time. He was such an amazing fighter that the explanation for him was that he was born of gods. So it's like imagine a LeBron James. There's no explanation for a LeBron James 4,000 years ago other than he's part God, right?
Okay, well, LeBron James lost 6 times, so he should have got stabbed 6 times at least. So, I mean, if you want to talk about
is like what happened to Achilles happened to him. That's why we have the term Achilles heel.
Yeah. I just realized what this man said.
All I'm saying is somebody could pop him. You ain't that invincible. You could have got popped. You ain't gonna go down.
For me, you could have got popped. For me, I feel like the only way that you can kind of like give Hector some edge, Hector, like Achilles would have had to like kill Hector's brother or something, and then he would have went into that fight with more edge. Like he would have been like, nah, I ain't kissing my baby, I ain't kissing my wife, I'm coming back. And then went out there and still got whooped. Then that would have been like, okay, Achilles is that guy. You feel what I'm saying? But like I feel like the way that they set it up, I would have been scared too, because it's like, dang, man. First of all, I thought I killed Achilles. Your camera not on, Randall. I thought I killed Achilles, but then on top of that, not only I didn't kill him, but then I killed the one person who he cares about, the most out here. You know what I'm saying? I could have killed anybody else. You know what I'm saying? But it just happened to be him. So like he already knew, man. He knew what time it was. He knew what time it was.
Hey, wait. Why did they surround? Why when the cousin and Hector were fighting? Why did the soldiers?
Everybody just stopped. Yeah, everybody.
And was in the circle like fight.
It was see great against great. I mean, okay. Then even the way they ended the war, they was just like, all right, that's enough for the day. Y'all don't nobody else hit each other. Y'all go back that way. Y'all go that way. We done. Well, they did have his cousin Rudy, and he acted like he ain't care nothing about all that. The Achilles had the man cousin.
They thought she was dead apparently, but I mean I thought about that too. I'm like, dang, but she been over here laid up for a little minute, boy. With the
right.
Greeks
so take some grit in there with you. Take some grit in there with you. That's all I'm saying.
She been laid up with Achilles for some weeks now.
Let's talk about what matters. This was peak Brad Pitt. Ooh, boy. That was a gorgeous man. Holy shit. That was like right at the end of like him being young Pitt into Brad Pitt. It was just like,
he took his armor off. Yeah, he was definitely solid. He was like, he looked like a.
The moment he found out his cousin died, man, that's beautiful.
Even that battle was funny. Like when he first took like the first little jab and whatever, he kind of blocked it.
Yeah,
he did like the little run. Yeah, he did like the little run or whatever. I was like, oh yeah.
Hey, no, he definitely had swag in this movie. I think it's the most swag I've ever seen out of Brad Pitt.
He's cool as shit. He was
cool so cool. I think him like pointing the sword over the whole crowd of people. That shit was awesome.
Yeah.
And like they wake him up for the first battle, and he's just passed out from fucking whores, you know, like hung over. Right. Come get me in the morning. It is morning. Oh, what the fuck did I do last night?
Right.
No, I like the best thing about it though was the fact that it showed me that Brad Pitt was an athlete. I mean, if I ain't believe it before, he was an athlete, not just because of what they perceived him to be, but his actual movements was athletic. Like even what you said, the run up, the jab step, he did the juke 1-2, jumped up, and that's athletic. I'm a baseball player, so I take pride in the fact the way he threw that spear. That's my favorite part of the scene. That's my favorite scene anyway. The way he lined that out all the way through, he got my respect off Jump Street. So
I think Brad Pitt was a baseball player, if I'm not mistaken.
So he was?
I believe
that would make sense.
Yeah.
That would make a lot of sense.
Overall, phenomenal movie.
The realness. Because like it's
the director's cut, and I was like, man, I don't know how different it is, but I was like,
oh, I didn't give it a 10. All right.
Man, shoot. Yeah. This my like I said on the last episode I was on, this my type of movie, so this is actually my favorite movie of all time. So I'm just stirring the pot. This is actually one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life.
These are the kind of movies that make me love movies. You know, it's like an epic, like ensemble cast, huge budget, huge set pieces. You know, these are the movies that are the big movies. You know, like these are the movies that should be getting made every year, but they're not. You know,
and it's like it's a huge movie. And like you're seeing like A-list actors in like a distant time, but like you never really feel like when you're watching it, oh, I'm seeing them acting. You know, you're getting lost in the characters and all that.
Total suspension of disbelief. You're even the scene where he's talking to his mom, who's supposedly a god. It never gets to the point where it's like so fantasy and so it's just like, okay, she's a god, but they're just having a conversation as you would expect people to be talking. And
the
to have
violence isn't over the top
in the movie, you know, and King Agamemnon, like these are characters that exist in Greek mythology that are very important. Like, you know, Odysseus is going to leave here and then go on the Odyssey. You know, he's leaving this movie and then starting the Odyssey, which is, you know, this movie is, you know, and then also the dude that, you know, when they're in the tunnels escaping Paris and Troy and Helen and they're escaping and that little kid is holding the torch, that kid is going to go on and start Rome. So, you know, these people are all, this is such a great moment in human history to be
it's a weird
portrayed
like,
this way.
Overlap of all these like epic tales.
Yes.
And then also Ajax, you find out where we got the name for our household cleaner.
Yes. Do you know what that is?
They did tweak that a little bit.
Ajax is a grease cleaner, right? And Ajax defeats the Greeks.
Nice.
So that's where that name comes from, right? Ajax, the grease defeater.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Ajax was the big dude, right? If I'm not mistaken.
He was the long ass hair, like dreaded up with the headband and the
one
big ass,
that
like,
Hector killed, correct?
Hector kills him,
Right. See, they even tweaked that because in the real story, they actually didn't he didn't end up killing him, but But like I said, they did a great job because this is a 10-year long war, and for them to so 3 hours of a movie is for them to even put all of that in 3 hours. Of course, they made it seem like 4 days. But it was beautiful the way they did it.
Yeah. And it's a good balance of like characters you love and characters you fucking hate.
Yeah.
Orlando Bloom's character is like one of the most despicable bitch-made characters ever in the history of film. Like just so selfish. What a pussy.
When he crawls back to his brother, like during the fight or whatever, it's just like you.
Oh my God. I just wanted Hector to throw up on him, man, and kick him. It was horrible, man. That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching it with my wife, and she was like, "And she gonna stay with him?" Oh my
She better.
At this point, she better. She done already caused enough trouble.
Yeah. Oh, the whole kingdom gonna ruin her.
I'm talking about after he didn't ran away. She was like, I can't even walk downtown with you. You gonna
Hey, he Paris. You better do whatever, cause you the reason why everybody finna lose their life. So you got to do whatever.
But then they make him be the one who actually kill Achilles. You know what I'm saying? Like that's so it's kind of like
redemption.
Right. It's kind of like that she'll forgive him now. Like you killed the one person who couldn't be taken out.
Oh, I could kill from far away.
Right.
Like a pussy. You put an arrow in my hand and an unsuspecting target, I'll kill the shit out of it.
Hey,
by missing. Like by missing, like he was trying to hit him in the chest or the head, no doubt, and like fucking hit him in the ankle. And like,
if Hector should have shot it with a bow and arrow instead of a sword, he would have won. You know what I'm saying? But he was out there.
He was going to come and
shooting
get
at his feet.
Right, shooting at his feet.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
all right.
Good.
Anything else for Troy?
Nah, Brad Pitt's never been hotter.
Yeah. Greatest movie.
All right,
Greatest
cool,
movie
man. Last on the list, we got Afro Samurai Resurrection, to be specific. Director is Takashi Okazaki, sure. Starring Samuel Jackson, Lucy Liu, host of others. So let's get our vote on for Afro Samurai Resurrection. On the count of 3, 1, 2, and 3. All right, cool. Now, I just want to make this before anybody, I'm gonna let somebody else go first, but I just want to be clear. I gave it a thumbs up only because I really understand why this is a good movie for people who like anime. Me personally, didn't give a fuck about this movie the entire time I was watching it. I'm just gonna let you like I was not interested that much at all. But watching it, I had to be fair. I was like, I could see why somebody who's into anime likes this. Like, it's a good anime movie. I'm just not an anime fan. So, somebody else wants to start. Do you think? Go for it.
Lonnie, let's hear from you. Why was it bad?
We talked. So, Kung Fu Hustle we watched last week, and I was able to, while I don't enjoy the fantastical Hong Kong film, I did see the art in it, and I did see the how it was well done, and I can kind of say the same thing for this movie, but this movie is just so out of my taste that I found it impossible to watch. I could not watch this movie, and I love Samuel L. Jackson.
They literally used Samuel Jackson to basically get you through the movie because they was like, yo, Samuel Jackson's way too animated to be Afro Samurai, but we really want him in this movie. So let's just let him be the person who never shuts up and just talk while Afro Samurai doesn't say anything.
Was that supposed to be his brother?
That's what I want to for sure talk about. I want to
I know that, but was that his brother?
That was the way I interpreted it. That's him if he never became a samurai.
No, I thought it was just his uncle or somebody.
No. That according to my understanding, that is actually that person's not real.
Yeah, I thought it was like his conscience, like
it's like
the pussy inside of him, like.
Right. If there was if his conscience had because most of the time in anime, it's a lot of voiceover where it's like it's talking while people are in the middle of action, kind of like while he was walking and whatnot. It would be like, saying a bunch of dialogue and whatnot. But they chose to actually bring it to a physical form, to where this is not a real person, but this is a manifestation of what his conscience would look like.
Yeah, I didn't get that. I didn't get that at all.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah,
I honestly didn't watch enough of the movie to pick up on any of it. I couldn't get through it.
It's okay.
I couldn't watch it.
I mean, I thought go ahead, Rand. My bad.
Well, I mean, I didn't get to finish it, so I can't really give a full opinion on it. But it wasn't because I turned it off. Wi-Fi just kept knocking it off, so I pretty much just went along with whatever Wi-Fi was saying. It wouldn't let me do it.
It wasn't worth fighting for anyways.
Right, and it wasn't worth fighting for. I had just got done watching Troy, and so I was just gonna watch Troy again. So I don't know, man.
I just watched Troy again. To be honest, I didn't watch.
Honestly,
So, yeah.
I don't think you guys are gonna go back and rewatch this movie, but this movie is actually, at least one of the things behind the movie. What I feel like, because he has to fight his dad at the end. So, I feel like we are always standing in the shadow of our parents, but we are supposed to pass them. We're supposed to pass them and everything they do. And I like the fact that he had to pass his dad to become number one from number two. That I think that's a beautiful story, and the fact that because the whole movie he was carrying that guilt of of his dad being gone and lost and how his dad died, because the whole movie was really everyone wanted revenge. And so if you go back and watch it, him basically holding on to that image, he had to like I said, pass his dad.
Yeah.
But he already number one? He was number one. He had the number one headband in the beginning, and then he got it taken by his sister. No, but he had taken by his sister and had to go get number two. He had to find out who had number two to go get number two. And then once he got number two, then he got number one back.
Right.
He started off with number one in the beginning.
But that's because his dad was number one.
Yeah. So it moved on to him like patrilineally,
right. You know how at the end of the movie he killed that kid's dad, and then he gave
him the number two headband.
Yeah, the number two headband was whenever you.
Yeah, no, they explained that. When they killed his father, they gave him the headband, right? Didn't someone
Right.
Yeah. Right. I get that, because even for me, even him killing his father, I even correlated that to them saying being a samurai or whatever, it's about making orphans and bodies or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because even with him fighting his own father would technically make him an orphan, even though he was an adult. Right. But he loses a father just like he had to take somebody else's father. He took his own, you know what I'm saying? So that kind of made him the true samurai or whatever. But what I'm saying is that that dude, the kid that he passes the number two to, he's just starting off with the number two headband. What I'm saying is that Afro Samurai was number one, whether it was nepotism or whatever, he was already number one. You know what I'm saying? He didn't necessarily start out number two. He humbled himself and made himself be number two, and then work his way back up, to being number one.
See, that's what I'm saying. Although I guess you can say he started as number one, he was only the number one because his dad was number one. That headband was given to him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was nepotism or whatever, but I'm saying, but he still. But the only person he really had to beat was his father, because nobody else could beat him anyways. You know what I'm saying? So I get, that's what I'm saying. Even with the story, even with him passing the headband to the kid at the end, all of that was touching. I get it. Once again, as far for an anime, I could see why somebody would like this movie. I you know what I'm saying? I was clear on what was going on. I just don't. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I didn't really like the way his afro shot on top of his head. It just stuff was weird to me. You know what I'm saying?
But I think what we failed to mention too, which is important, is that RZA scored the whole film.
Yeah, that was dope.
And he did the music for it. And I thought the crossover was cool. Where you have the one the Japanese festival and the Japanese people in the street.
Yeah.
But it's to the beat of a RZA style beat and shit.
Yeah.
That's cool as fuck.
That was the best scene. Yeah.
It was a cool cross. I mean, it was the ultimate, at the time it came out, it had to be the ultimate black nerd movie, because you're getting anime, which a lot of black nerds love, and then Wu-Tang, which a lot of black nerds love, and you just have the two meet together. That's what sold me on it. I had to actually rewatch it. I watched it for the first time 11 years ago on my 18th birthday on a lot of acid with my friends. And I didn't remember the plot at all. I remember, we watched that. And when talking to Lonnie about it, he's like, we watched Afro Samurai. I was like, was that even a series or was that a movie? I don't remember.
They have a series for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
I felt like you needed to watch the series to kind of understand the movie. Did anybody else feel like when I was watching it, I felt like they were referencing things from the series?
I didn't peep the series at all, so
I felt like they might have, but it wasn't
Right.
enough
It wasn't big enough to
Daryl, did you watch the series?
I thought the movie by itself was enough. It held its own.
But usually when it comes to anime, so they usually make the feature first, and then they make the series to like fill in like gaps. So if you were to watch Naruto, they would come out with, before they come out with a new season of Naruto, they would come out with a feature for that season and showing you pretty much the big fights and whatnot, and then they will go back and show you actually the journey with the series.
Right.
Because I know, like, at the time, like, that's what pulled me into even watching it at all, was that, like, RZA did the music. And, like, I was just a huge Wu-Tang Clan fan. I was like, all right, fuck it, I'll try it.
Right.
And I'm not an anime guy at all. Like, since I've, like, watched a few more animes, I really can't fuck with most of them. Just for whatever reason, it just doesn't grab me. I wish I could, because the people that love it. And, like, it seems like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I like the when we watch MFKZ with his motherfuckers, whatever. Remember we watched that one, Lonnie? To me, I like that one better than this one. To me, like, it's like,
I don't think that was an anime though, was it?
That was
definitely it was an anime, but it still was in the style of I'm saying I'm sorry. I thought you were saying it was an animation. I was saying that it's still in the style of anime.
Yeah, it definitely was a style of anime. I mean, it didn't have like the whole Dragon Ball Z hair that I always be referencing, like the spiky hair or whatever. Yeah, because it had kind of like a Grand Theft Auto San Andreas vibe, you know. But it's I don't know, that just still was kind of more just interesting visually, even. You know what I'm saying? But
I enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
I liked Motherfuckers. That was a good one.
Yeah. But this one to me, like I said, I really only just I thought the carnival or the parade or whatever, that was the most entertaining scene to me. Like, just even seeing those people dancing and whatever, I thought all that was kind of funny.
I think the theme.
Go ahead.
My bad.
No,
I think the theme and how they went about it was good, though. Like, I thought it was deep and it was fucking heavy and like a fucked up concept, like, of just what vengeance entails. And like, if you're gonna commit your life to vengeance, not even like just killing or like being the number one. If you're just when you commit your life to vengeance, you have to realize that, like, what that comes with. Like, it's going to ruin your life. You're going to destroy the lives of like all the people around you. And like how at the end where he gets defeated by his father and like his father's choking him out and like the ghost or whatever is telling him like, yo, you got to kill your fucking, he's like, I cannot kill my father. And, well, that's the end of Afro. And it's like, so it's just like weird. Like, you see this moment where like this dude that's just been completely obsessed and like with becoming number one, with murdering people his entire life, he gets to a point where he's actually seeing like, oh yeah, I've killed people's fathers, I can't kill my own. And it's like, and so it's like its own, and then soon after he perishes. And like, it's like when he meets that hypocrisy, like when he meets that conflict head on, that's when he dies. The weird thing is the way he comes back to life. That felt a little forced. That felt a little phoned in. Just a machine sparks and life is back in him and he's back.
Also, I didn't realize he died. I just thought he just was like unconscious because he got choked out or something. I thought he just
was dead. And then like the machine sparked and like shocked him and he came back to life. And
but
then,
even with the fight with his dad, like, they didn't even show that. Like, they just made us assume, okay, well, he killed his dad and then he passes on the thing. Like, I thought that would have been a good way to end it off. Like, you show the big fight. Like, they didn't even show that. They just
big fight.
And then
so the story is not actually about him fighting his dad. Like I said, I felt like the story was him trying to surpass his dad.
But he still he had to fight him to surpass him, and I'm saying they didn't show any of the fight. They just cartooned it out.
If you don't show that and then you just show him walking away, I mean, it kind of. That's what
leads into the series after the movie.
It's like circular too, though, because the entire thing that sets him on this path of like murder and killing and vengeance, the death of his father, is ultimately what he has to face at the very end. Like, it all comes back around and then boom, like, and he's defeated by the very same thing that like started him off on this warpath in the beginning. And then with like the two other characters, with CO, the woman, and her brother that we come to find out is her brother, I thought it was like kind of cool with like the whole thing with like where him getting fucked up by Afro's dad, and then like his programming kind of kicks out, and like he remembers like, oh yeah, I used to be best friends with this dude. We grew up in samurai school together. So like he engages in an act of love that ultimately like brings him to the point where he's dying in the arms of his sister, but they're able to actually share a real human moment again. And like they're about to die, but for the first time in however many years, Sio's seeing like, holy shit, that's really you. It's my brother, and then they die together.
They had a little incest in that moment. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That's
I thought
very
they were gonna
strange.
kiss. I thought it was gonna
Japanese
kiss.
shit.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, it's a little close.
Like, y'all look confused, man.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna be like, he was like calling her princess and shit at the end. I was like, oh yeah, they about to kiss on their deathbed. Like this is getting ready to happen. Incest.
I mean, that's really just anime, because like a lot of anime women are sexualized, and you know it's really
a lot of Japanese people fuck their brothers, is what DA is saying.
I'm not saying that. I did not say that. All I said was it's really erotic in anime.
They had random sex in this movie. Like they just were showing people just getting jammed from the back, just randomly. It's like, where did that come from?
Sio could have got it. Crazy. But,
the finest cartoon is Jessica Rabbit. That's the only one I've ever fantasized over.
Oh yeah. Lola
Jessica
Bunny.
Rabbit was that's too far.
I'm going Lola Bunny.
You guys have a real rabbit thing going on between the two of you.
Well, Jessica Rabbit's not a rabbit. She's a woman. She just married.
That's true. That's true. That's a good call. Yeah, right.
She's a rabbit by relation. Lola Bunny.
She was affiliated with a rabbit though, Rudy. So it's kind of cool.
I mean, she was into the bestiality, but I'm not. I'm talking about the woman.
Exactly.
She
was into it, bro.
Well, then I'm the male Jessica Rabbit because I'm trying to.
Right. I'm gonna just put the ears on. You know what I'm saying?
She ain't rocking with you.
She don't want a regular human.
Put them on.
Right.
But it is funny to like make Afro Samurai and put like kind of that questionable shit in there. So like where you're trying to like attract a new demographic to like anime. Right. So like you just imagine all like the Wu-Tang fans that are saying the same shit. Like, man, that dude's gonna fuck his sister at the end. Or his bond, he was gonna get cheese from his sister. Got like just all the fucking Wu-Tang.
I was definitely convinced. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like they were pretty touchy. But
yeah.
Anyway, so anything else for any of these movies? Brawl in Cell Block 99, Troy, or Afro Samurai Resurrection? Any final thoughts?
Oh yeah.
I mean, Troy's the only undisputed champ.
Pretty good bunch here, you know. I would say that. I would definitely
say it again.
I said I would say we had a pretty good bunch here. You know? There weren't any like truly bad movies. They were.
Well, I mean, 2 people didn't watch the last one, so I mean, they couldn't finish the last one. So I think
that's just,
I tried 3 times.
Well, no, I mean, look, man, like I said, it was Wi-Fi.
But it's good podcasting. When you get two guys that barely watched it.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right, well then let's go ahead and shift to our numbers game. And just to be clear, so for Troy, that's the only one that I have a clear just budget, and then just what the total box office was for international as well as domestic. For Brawl in Cell Block 99, I have the budget, but I have a box office, but then I also have what they made as far as like on home video stuff, because that was a number as well, because their box office wasn't that wide of a release. And then for Afro Samurai, I have the budget, but then I just have the Rotten Tomatoes because they didn't have a theatrical release. So let's actually start with Afro Samurai Resurrection. What do you think the budget was for that movie to get that movie made?
I have no idea, bro. I mean, I don't even know how. I don't know how that works.
$2 million.
What'd you say, Dan?
$2 million.
$2 million.
Animation's expensive as fuck.
I'm not
sure. Really? I would have never known.
$1 million.
I'll say like 3.5.
3.5.
Rendo, you know what? Just say a number. I'm pretty sure Lonnie's close.
Okay. Well, I'll say 1.5.
1.5, and the actual budget is $5 billion.
I knew it. I should have went with my fucking gut. I had 5 in my stomach, and I didn't do it. God damn it.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, Lonnie was technically the closest. And then and so for this one I actually have the Rotten Tomato score, but it didn't even have a critic score. It only had audience score. So what do you think the audience rated this on Rotten Tomatoes?
87.
What percentage?
87.
78.
78.
85.
85.
72.
72. It is actually 72 on the head.
Damn.
Hey.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know how to judge movies.
72%.
I did it.
See,
I was the one that voted.
you didn't have like the you don't have like the math numbers, but like as far as like the ratings, the critics and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you got that
I got
down.
you.
I got
Yeah,
you.
I know how good it is.
All right, let's do Brawl In Cell Block 99. What do you think the budget was for that movie? It made in like 2017, I think.
4.
4 million?
11.
I must
11.
Yeah.
I forget. Does a film's budget include the actors' salaries?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Okay.
I'll say 5.
5.
That's a good one. Yeah. 8 million.
8. And what'd you say, Brandon?
11.
11. So it actually was 4 million on the head. Yeah, guessed it.
Nice.
Which I felt like Lonnie would have got closer if he would have guessed first, but I felt like he only shifted because of
I
DA
so
first.
did. I
know.
want to just like say the same thing as DA.
Yeah, I know. You always do that. I figured as soon as you said 5, I was like, he probably was gonna try to say 4, but DA said it first.
I had to beat Lonnie this time.
You pretty much have to answer first, but hopefully it's close to what he's thinking.
Right.
All right, so then what do you think it got in the box office? Now, mind, like I said, it had a limited release. I think it may have been in the box office maybe like 3 days or something, 3-4 days. It wasn't nothing long. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you for sure it's definitely less than $1 million. I'm not gonna give you any specifics outside of that, but it's definitely less than $1 million. So you
pulled in less than $1 million?
Because it wasn't in theaters that long.
I'm gonna say 86,000.
86. Okay.
86.
I'll say 100.
100.
Damn it. See, this is why I try to beat Lonnie. I'm gonna go with 90.
90. What'd you say, Dan?
150,000.
150,000. It actually only made 64,453. So Randy was close.
Yeah.
Now
that was
what
just
about
all their families going to see it?
right. What about home video? I give you a hint. It's somewhere anywhere between $1 million to 10 million. I just say that it's somewhere in that range, so you don't have to try to guess too high or too low.
Okay, well, thank you.
1.8.
1.8.
1.1.
1.1.
2.8.
2.8.
Go solid 2 million.
Solid
2.
2. You going 2 or 3?
I'll go 3. Fuck it.
Go 3. Fuck it. Well, you should have stuck with 2. It's actually 2,069,691, which puts Randy closer.
Dan got it.
Because you jumped up to 3.
Yeah, I got 2 on it. Okay, I got 2.
Yeah. All right, and now the traditional budget and box office so we got Troy. What do you think the budget was for Troy?
That's a big one.
Made in 2004.
Yikes.
I'm gonna say
Yikes.
120.
120?
No, I think I'm gonna stay with 120. I'm gonna stick with
120.
155.
155.
I'm sticking with.
Lonnie is calculating. Look at
Don't be cheating over there. Don't be cheating over there.
He's counting all the ships that was in the water. Like, okay.
And like what was CGI? Brad Pitt was probably 30 million on his own. You know,
you notice, but with all the ships, they were all the same, but they just changed the flag.
Yeah.
Right.
So that knocks off $1 million right there.
But like costumes and horses and weapons and all that stuff costs a lot of money.
All the actor salaries, because there was a lot of actors in there with big salaries, probably.
Yeah. Come with it. It's probably gonna be 2 something.
I'm gonna say one. What did you, Randy? You said 155, right?
I did.
Yeah,
yes,
155.
Sir.
I'm gonna say 175.
175. Dan?
200 million.
200 million. The budget is actually $185 million. So Lonnie got closest.
Are you kidding me?
185. They dropped a big budget on this one, boy. 2004 and that. Jesus. All right, cool.
I would waste so much money making
Yeah, 2.5 million of that is Coke. For sure.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. I wonder where they shot that movie. We should look it up. I wonder like where was that location, that whole situation. But anyways, I'll look at it later. So then what do you think it made in box office? What do you think Troy made in box office?
Oh, I was saying.
How long was it in box office? Do you tell us that or no? We don't get to know that.
I mean, it just had a regular release. I mean, so I would imagine for a while. I don't know, but it definitely wasn't short. Like at least the regular amount, if not longer. I would just say.
Worldwide, we're talking about, right, Rudy?
It's a worldwide number. This is
what's regular? I'm just going to be out. Is it 2 months or is it about a month? What is it?
I honestly don't know.
Okay.
I mean,
It was probably in theaters for a couple months.
For a couple months.
350.
350 million.
I'm gonna say $500 million.
Yeah.
$500 million, 500.
Yeah, that's I'm just gonna go with what I was literally gonna say. I was gonna say 500 million.
500 mil.
Hey, bro.
Because I feel like I've heard about it grossing a lot.
I'm gonna just go up to 6. I'm gonna just go up to 6, bro. They made
get that money. 6. And you said 350, DA?
Yeah.
All right. Well, it actually was 497.4 million. So Dan and Lonnie pretty much are on the head. Yeah, they made almost $500 million.
Yep. And if they didn't blow that $2.5 million on Coke, we would have been right on the money, pretty much.
I should have been on LeBron and jumped on the bandwagon. I thought about it. But I said I'm not a LeBron fan. So.
Got you. Dope, man. All right, cool. Well, that wraps up, man. Those three movies, man. I think those were pretty good conversation pieces. We talked about Brawl in Cell Block not longer than I even expected. I didn't realize it was gonna be that controversial, but that was good. So Dan, man, the floor is back on back yours, I should say. It's back on you in reference to, man, just promoting yourself, man, Instagrams, shows coming up, podcasts, all that type of jazz.
Yeah. I do my own podcast. Haven't recorded in a little bit, but we're going to get it going again soon, called the Problem Addict Podcast. That's the word problematic spelled with the word addict, like we're addicted to problems. And because we are. And what else? I'm going to be hosting the Bellagio Lakes talent show at my day job, which is a retirement HOA for predominantly Jewish and some Italian senior citizens from the Northeast. I'm going to be hosting that, so be sure to check that out.
So who's going to be competing in the talent show? Your residents?
Residents, yep.
Oh boy.
And one of them is submitting from the grave, so it's already set. He's going to win for sure. Yeah. So shout out Bud Herman. Bud Herman will be winning the 2021 Bellagio Residence Talent Show.
Buddy is wild.
And I don't know, no other real gigs coming up other than that. I'm doing some kind of show in a fucking warehouse tonight in like Boca or something. And then but check me out on Instagram for sure. That's my main output, Dan Caso Boy. It's the name there, all one word with boy at the end, and that's where I'm actually funny. I'm still trying to figure out stand-up, but I'm actually funny on Instagram. So.
Gotcha. Dope, man.
And,
dope.
Yeah, and the podcast is on SoundCloud, YouTube, all that. So check me out on SoundCloud,
Lit.
YouTube, all that.
Lit. Caso, what about you, man? You got anything you want to throw out there? You want people to follow you? Anything?
Well, look, y'all inspired me, man. So don't be surprised if we come up with our own little podcast. So we definitely been in talks about it. Me and Nard was here last week. So we'll see what happens. I'm glad to be here. Appreciate y'all for letting me on, even though I'm controversial. So yeah, let me, I'm glad to be here. Plan on coming back. If I got the time, I'll definitely be here for sure.
Gotcha. Dope, man. Appreciate both of y'all pulling up, man. Lonnie Cox, I see you got your Cox comedy up. Hey, what did you? I was going to ask you, what did you hold? What sign did you hold up for Afro Samurai? What score did you give it?
Let's do it. I don't know. I don't think I did, but from what I saw, I'll give it a 2.
Oh man, okay. 2. Jesus.
That's the RZA, man.
And that's just from what he's seen. He didn't even see the whole thing. So they
could have went lower.
Oh man. All right.
This was mad fun. This is a fun concept for a podcast, man. I had fun.
Oh, appreciate it, man. Lonnie, you got anything you want to throw out there? You want to promote real quick?
No. Just open mics. I am dog sitting for the next couple days in Miramar, so come on by and meet the pooches.
Come on by. Gotcha. DA?
Oh, I just wanted to show off my X-Men shirt. I show off all my shirts every time.
Gotcha. Okay. Are you like sponsored by them or something, or just?
No, I just like showing off my cool shirts, man.
Gotcha.
That's it.
Okay. That was
real quick. I know it doesn't really matter, but I just won't feel good about it if I walk away without plugging Pistol Peggy, my alter ego, my rap alter ego. The Piss Tape Volume 1 is going to be out on November 14th on SoundCloud and YouTube. So be sure to follow me. Check out all that. It's going to be I'm going to fucking change the world with that one.
Change the world with that one.
The look is what got me, bro. The look. Nice,
bro. Change the world with the Piss Tape. Gotcha,
Rest in piss.
I'm with it, man.
That was fun.
I'm with it. Well, dope, man. Well, yeah, man, this has been another episode. RudyComedy.com for me. All my social media stuff is linked there. This podcast is posted on the YouTube page of No Life Boys Production, NOLIFEBOYZZZ. Every single Thursday, man. Thanks to Daryl doing the editing. And thanks to all of y'all who are tuning in, those of y'all who are here participating, judging these good millionaires movies, that we haven't had the privilege of putting our stuff on the big screen. But one day we will, and some film students to talk shit about ours. But until then, we're the dumbass film students. We out.
Nice meeting y'all, man. Take it easy.
All right, brother.